Okay, here we go. Guy Segers, bassist from Belgium, all the way from Belgium. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a pioneer, living original member of Univers Zero. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
out there knows it, but and also other type of groups you're working with. So thanks for coming on today.
Okay. Thank you
So
to invite me. Yeah.
so let's hear about your early music, how you got interested in the bass.
Oh, the beginning was uh, because it's Jack Bruce who inspired me.
Oh, okay.
The real beginning of Jack Bruce, even just a little bit before he started Cream, and you know, I couldn't play guitar. It was too strange for me, but I was very young, of course. So bass was okay, and so I bought a bass and later a amp.
Were
And
you playing with cover bands at that time when you were a teenager or high school age?
no, no, I never went to high school.
Okay,
So, as teenager, I first started to play alone and then meet some friends from school,
okay.
indeed, and try some things like covers. Yeah, but I wasn't very good at all. I could play three notes or something like that, you know.
Oh, that's okay. So how did you learn then? You just kept practicing to get to the point of,
That's it. And with meeting other musicians and so on, and so I slowly uh, start to study more the instruments, but completely alone, indeed.
well, that's what it takes. If you have the desire and the perseverance to learn and become a
Yeah,
good bass player, then it happens.
yeah, and in those years also something very to that I have to say is there were no schools
Oh,
like now.
no.
Like
Okay.
now, I think since the 80s or something like that, there were jazz schools, but that didn't exist at all
Huh.
at the time. In
So
this,
So, did you learn at home? Do you have a teacher, a bass teacher at all? You
no,
said
no,
nothing.
no
That's
teacher,
great.
nothing. No,
So you learn naturally.
on the records, I bought the
Okay.
records, and also in that time, you couldn't rewind. You have to learn
No,
the
that's
word
true.
and then move.
And mostly it was vinyl records at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
there was nothing else than vinyl.
no cassette yet. So you were
No,
still
not that I remember. No, no cassette. No, it went a bit in the 70s, I think, cassettes or something like.
right, right. That's when it started. So then when did you become a professional musician, like a professional bass player?
Well, I don't know what does it mean professional
Well,
first.
playing in a
In a,
band that's doing gigs, that's recording,
yeah,
that's on another level than
yeah,
being
yeah.
in a cover band.
Well, the first, I think I must have been uh, 16 or something like that, and then I worked with a band including Roger Trigot, who became, like me, member of Univers Zero.
Oh, okay.
We had a band, and we didn't already make covers. That
Mm,
was the first band. We played our own stuff. It was still a little like we called pop music in that time, and
got it.
already a little bit different.
Mm.
Things that you don't do usually in songs. We did it, and
So,
and and so we had a rehearsal room, and at that time there was a band in Belgium called Arkham,
uh,
that was a trio, and
right.
was a very very near a soft machine.
Oh, they were okay.
It, it's the best trio like soft machine that exist in that time. And they didn't have any rehearsal room anymore. So we told them, well, you can come to our rehearsal room and there's no problem. And it's that way that two of the members of that band played uh, um, supporting act for Magma,
Right.
the very first concert of Magma in abroad, France,
Oh boy.
in Belgium. It's a small place. There were 20 people in the audience,
Oh, that must have been something.
and it was the first time we saw them. So in that time, the French bands were really crap, really nothing. So we thought, oh, they're gonna see
Yeah.
something special with this trio,
Yeah.
and indeed they were looking wow. But
Yeah.
when they start to play, we said wow.
If anybody out there doesn't know Magma, they were a very unique band. What was it? Christian Vander, is that was who was the drummer who
Yeah, it's the
did
drummer.
the
Yeah,
singing, and then they had their own language with the
yeah.
songs. Quite an amazing band.
Already, and on that concert, which happened something like 1970,
Ah,
very in the very beginning. And so they were impressed by the drummer and the keyboard player of the Belgian band,
right.
and they invite them to join Magma at that time. And the keyboard player stay in the band and recorded the mechanic record, but the drummer it didn't work with two drummers like Christian and Daniel, the drummer. So Daniel came back to Belgium and refound a new band and asked Roger and me to join.
Okay.
And that was a band called Necronomicon, inspired by Lovecraft.
Okay.
And later that band moved into Univers Zero.
Yeah, you guys were very unique with your sound textures and it wasn't jazz, but it wasn't rock. It was just all
No,
very hard to explain.
well,
Very unique.
there's an explanation about that because
Okay.
in the beginning of the band, we used to play more jazz because also we had a trumpet player in the beginning who played with the big names of free jazz in Europe. And so we found, and the saxophone player, John van Reemland, uh, um, made us discover the very first albums of Mahavishnu, Herbie Hancock, and all. We knew already Tony Williams' Lifetime,
Okay.
but this opened us to a new direction,
I'm
and
sure it
we
would.
played in that field in the beginning, and very fastly we discover that this to play this music we were always uh, 1 or 2 years too late because the Americans had all the technique and I mean the instruments like effects that we didn't have over here. So
Right.
we were always too late in the style. And so we start thinking about finding our own style and start to discover the roots of European music.
I hear it in that. I hear it in Univers Zero a lot.
So at some point we completely changed from this jazz fusion perspective
Okay.
to play music inspired by composers like Bartok, Stravinsky, and all these of this period, but also newer like Penderecki, etc. So we discover all this music, including also a Belgian composer, which is completely unknown, but we like
Okay.
very
Who is
much.
that? Who would that be? Who is the unknown?
The name is Albert Huybrechts,
Okay.
and he completely disappeared from the scene of music for strange reasons. I don't know, but he was at our point of view on the level of Debussy and Ravel,
Oh my gosh. Wow.
but
That's something.
probably he makes some shadow to other composers over here, and they push them in the corner, you know.
Nah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing shows live with Univers Zero? Did that start right away, or were you working up to that?
Yeah, we already played before with the other band in the style of jazz
Yes.
fusion
But
with Univers.
what about the new style? When did you start?
That started in 75.
Okay.
But before we played quite some concerts, but over here in Belgium. And 75 we played suddenly in that style. We made it. And something very funny, we played in a festival of free jazz
Oh, okay.
with this
Well,
structure.
they must have been surprised when the first note they heard from you guys.
Yeah, but they were interested, and it was a very, very great opportunity because it was free jazz from Europe.
Hmm.
Also, which is quite different from the usual free jazz. You know, it's people, and we met all the people from that scene, like Fred Van Hove, Peter Breutzmann, Willem Breuker, Evans, all the names, you know, from the European jazz, free jazz scene.
Okay. And now, when did you meet Chris Cutler of, Recommended Records, which was quote unquote rock in opposition, that whole theme of bands like you were part of? When did Chris come into the fold?
Well, he came in because we had the idea to make a record, and
Right,
so I made a lot of things for the band. I found the concerts and you know all the this kind of thing, and so I wrote letters and
oh,
I contact first a Belgian company called Sub Rosa, which which is which have no only no Univers Zero on their on the label,
right,
but they refuse it. So I tried to contact Virgin.
right.
I met the people from Hatfield and even some people from Gong, etc. But also I contacted Chris Cutler because they were with Virgin also.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
And
that.
so
Henry Cow, right?
I went to London and to talk with him, you know, and make him discover our music. And they were completely amazed because first we had also a bassoon.
Oh, wow.
We are the two unique bands in the world who
That's
have
unusual.
bassoons in the band, and our music was completely structured and absolutely the same direction than Enrico, like partly like a rock band, electric and with acoustic instruments. Both
Yeah,
bands had that, you know. We
right.
had harmonium, bassoon, violin, and
Well, that's a great combo. Wow.
at the same time electric guitar, bass, and drums. And we played quite loud. In
I'm sure it must have been. The only other band I remember with a bassoon was Griffin. Griffin from the UK. Griffin, they were kind of, I don't know, they were kind of
yeah,
folky, but
I,
kind of,
I don't know them very well, but
yeah, they
are
had a
they from
bassoon
the same?
player.
But that's maybe later.
Yeah, no, I think they were in the 70s. That's the only other band. So you were very unique to have that
Yeah.
type lineup. So then when you met Kristen, you planned on doing your first record,
Yeah, I played him some music we recorded on a cassette. Huh? In that time, it was like that.
right?
And then he spoke about doing something like the recommended records because we already no, I think it was not with the cassette. I went already with the
Okay.
record because we auto produced it. We made it by ourselves. The sound engineer who worked with us arranged all the thing to make a record.
Oh, okay.
and then we found also a French company who want to release it, and so we did first on the French company. But in the meantime, I met Chris, and he spoke about the recommended records idea to exchange the records from each other and to find concerts to, and then he built Rock and Opposition and include us immediately in it.
Yeah, that's a very, I remember that very distinctly, the Rock and Opposition. And there was Chris really organized a great label there of very unique bands like yourself.
Yeah.
I remember that.
We went to the last concert of Enrico in UK. We played the same
Oh,
day
you
with all the
did?
bands.
Oh, that
With
must
all
have
the
been fun.
bands. Rock and Opposition London was with all the Rock and Opposition bands, with the Swedish, the French, the
Boy,
Belgian.
that must have been exciting. Who were some of the bands that were in on that rock besides you and Henry Cow? What were some of the other groups that were in
Um,
that?
it was Zamla Mamas from Sweden.
Okay,
Um,
because I don't remember all the groups that were part of that.
I can't figure
Oh,
out.
that's okay.
Italian Stormy Six, French Etron Fou le Loup
Did
Blanc.
did, did you guys get to play in Italy at all?
Yeah.
That,
Because we arranged this idea of recommended record. No, rock in opposition in each country. So we've been invited in Sweden, in Italy, in France, and we invite also in Belgium the
uh,
other bands.
what was the reception like in Italy? Because they are really into progressive music there. They love it.
It was quite funny, I must say, because at some concerts, some people were dancing on our music.
Oh, that's funny.
That's very
Doesn't
strange.
seem like danceable music, but you never know.
No, not at
People,
all.
no, I know. I know that. I've
But
listened to it.
okay, but it was a good moment to be in Italy because it was the Communist Party who was in charge at that moment. So they had subsidies for music.
Right.
Voilà, that's why. But
So,
they are in progressive music, but very funny. They never buy music from abroad.
isn't that
Everything
something?
happened in Italy.
Now,
Okay.
what was there any bands or artists back then that really said, "Oh my gosh, this is really somebody really great"? Did anybody that you saw or played with at that time that was?
Well, we knew already the main influence was Soft Machine.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of that, Mike Rutledge just passed away.
Yeah, and I wear, I don't know if you see it, but I wear,
Oh, there you go. He was quite an organist.
yeah, I saw them many times in trio and then in quartet with Elton Dean. I saw many concerts of the band.
Yeah, they were. I saw clips of them on YouTube here, and it's just
The first
phenomenal.
the first concert with Univers Zero, we uh, we had the bill with the Dutch band Super Sister, and in that time Super Sister were playing with Elton Dean on saxophone.
Oh well, that's
That was our first
another
concert.
legend. Oh boy, that's something. Did you see Robert Wyatt with Soft Machine, or was that
Yeah, a lot. I saw them many times.
what a
I
what a?
saw Matching Mole also.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know them very well. In fact,
I saw them live many times.
I interviewed Bill McCormick from Matching
Yeah.
Mold. What a guy! What a great guy. Got some great
I
stories.
never knew him personally, but I'm friend with him on the Facebook, and
Yes,
he's
he's a
nice. He,
very great guy, very friendly, personable. So then how long did you stay? You left Univers Zero. Did you record with them at all? And how many records, if you did?
Well, the first record, I didn't record on it because I had to work. I had to
Right.
live, and
Okay.
I couldn't have so many days to go in the studio. Then I play on the second, the third, and then the single, the Mac EP. I don't know you call it the
EP.
crawling wind thing. After I already played all the bass lines from at least the two next albums, which I don't play on because
Right.
again I had to work.
Okay. And then when did you leave the band? Was it in the late 70s or did you
No,
just
no, it was in the 80s. But I
okay.
came back in the band to in the 90s to make one record, one concert in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just one
But
show. That was it, right?
yeah, yeah, but it was trouble with the ideas of the drummer who
Daniel
canceled
Dennis?
yeah, he canceled everything and it was very disappointed. And he fired me. He fired
Oh man.
the first time I was fired also in the 80s or something like that. So, but okay.
So now the records are reissued. You don't get any credit for those as far as being
Uh,
on the
well, that's a good question because I see many times that I'm deleted of the credits in many things in
yeah,
reviews and everything in the story of the band. The same thing happened with Présent, which I played also, and I built also the first band. Of course, it
right.
was Roger Trigo, with who I started playing long time before. But I
That's
just saw
terrible. Oh,
yesterday some some something about Crescent, and I didn't see my name at all in it. They talk
I
about everybody except me. And
well,
they even talk about the sound engineer, but not the musicians. I don't know.
oh boy. Well, now you're
No,
getting now you're
I
getting
mean,
the respect you deserve here
I
on this
mean
channel.
the past musicians. I mean the musicians from the past, not past. In English doesn't mean the same thing. I know.
Well, the band I was in, we had trouble with getting rights to our songs back. So, that's a whole nother issue of publishing. If you
Yeah,
don't have the publishing, you're not going to get the residual from whatever they use it for.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
it's a mean business. What can I say? It is what it
it's
is,
it's
unfortunately.
yeah.
But you deserve the credit for that, and hopefully people that see this show know
Well,
now that you were part of
yeah,
this, and
yeah.
the founder of the band,
Yeah,
one of the founders of the band.
absolutely. I worked very much for that band, and I did all the work to find the gigs, to find the contacts, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, that's too
For
bad.
almost 15 years.
Jeez, it's not good. Well, anyway, let's move on now to other music. What's this Six Leg Sally? What was that band about? Were you part of that group
Yeah,
too?
and I wasn't part of it, but the bass player had to play with someone else, and they had concerts, and there was a musician at that time who was in the band who came from Univers Zero, the keyboard player Jean-Luc Plouvier,
Right.
and they asked me to replace the bass player for these gigs.
Oh,
I
okay.
did two times replacement with the band. So
Oh,
I learned in 1 week. I think I learned two albums.
wow. No, I never heard of this group. Do they have records available, like
Yeah,
digitally?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They are. I think they are all on Sub Rosa, and it's a bit like Dr. Nerve.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah,
Mm.
because I never heard
Very,
of
very
them.
good band. Huh? Very good band.
Now, did you play with any other groups in that era? Any prog rock groups? Did you record with any of those?
Well, with present,
Right.
present.
Present,
Yeah,
you recorded?
yeah. On two albums, and I produced. No, I recorded on one album, but I play also many concerts with them, and I produced two records of them.
Now, are you still on the production notes on those
No, no,
records?
no. Well, I was the owner of the label, so
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you had a record label too.
I had. It's a long time ago, huh?
Right.
And there I produced many interesting bands.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
So what kind of groups what were some of the bands that were on the label? What kind of groups?
Well, mostly Belgian bands because
Right.
I was absolutely convinced that we had probably in the world the most talented musicians on a square kilometer.
Hmm, I'm
Belgium
sure.
is very small, huh? And so the culture here didn't do anything to promote them. So I thought I have to push some of them, and so I made a label. In the
We're,
beginning, the first things were mostly jazz because they were the first to react. And once I contacted one, all they speak to each other, and I had a lot of bands in the jazz field, and some more in the progressive, as they called no progressive. In
good
our time,
music, right?
they didn't call it progressive rock. That didn't
No,
exist.
now that's a tag now, that they use prog rock.
And
Yeah, it's a big tag.
I don't like it because progression is like someone who can play two chords and learn and have a third chord. He made progression. You
Right.
understand what I mean? So I prefer innovative rock.
That's great. Yeah, experimental, innovate.
Experimental, no, because
Not either.
we write things. You don't make an experiment, you
That's
know.
true. You're right.
If you play free jazz or free music, then you experiment. But
You mentioned the band in the late '60s that you really liked. The German band, was it Guru that
yeah, I played with the two members still existing. There were three, and the bass player died. So I even made a record with them
oh, okay.
in the 90s. No, in the year 2000. I don't.
They were
Sorry, I don't remember now.
they were a good group. They were a good group.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And they were one of the very first in the German scene of krautrock. It's very
They were
important.
they were probably before Can, right? Were they
Yes,
out?
yes, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So they were so that movement really started in that late '60s era for the German music.
I even believe they were the very first ones in the
Oh, I didn't know
German.
that. So
Yeah,
everybody out there can now look up Guru and say, "Hey, this is the one of the first groups out there to do that
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of music."
yeah.
So let's talk about your current project. What's it? MNC? What's the name of the group that you're currently playing in?
Eclectic Maybe Band.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so is this a recording now, or you are just planning on live shows?
I don't play live shows. It's too complicated because people are coming from many parts of the world and et cetera, et cetera. Um, but it's no, it's just released the fifth album of the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, you gotta send that over the link because I'm sure people out here watching will be interested.
yeah.
We got
You
a
can
big
find
fan
it.
base of progressive, not progressive, but people that like new music to hear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a kind of mix because um, I try to do something to cross over borders in styles, and so sometimes it's completely improvised, and sometimes it's completely written, and there's no link in style, but there's link in the spirit, in like
That's the main thing. Now, you do this yourself? Do you have other band members playing in this group? Who are the other band members, if any?
Yeah, there's many people, and
Oh, okay.
some of the ex Univers Zero or Artzoid,
I
even
like them. Art Zoid were great.
even well, many bands. I have also the guitarist from Mats and Morgan, and
So, so that's good.
also Americans from the Muffins.
Oh, yeah. Do you know Paul Sears?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, Paul did an interview with me. What a energetic guy. Got a lot of
Yeah,
going on.
yeah. He looks very funny
Now,
also.
what about Emergency? Is that also a group you were working in, right? Emergency?
Yeah. With the drummer from X-Legged Sally is
Right.
joining us, and the keyboard player in the second period of Emergency is the keyboard player from Univers Zero.
Oh, okay.
But it was kind of mixed between French chanson and other things, you know.
Yeah. Well,
It was with a singer.
it's great that you've kept contact with all these people to get
Yeah,
them still involved with your music.
all
That
those
is great.
still, all those who are still alive. Yeah.
Right. That's true.
I
Well,
lost
you're,
some friends, you know.
oh, that's hard. That's tough, but what are you
Among
gonna do?
among them, Roger Trigo, with who I started playing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. And well, you're still going, still doing some music. That's the main thing.
Well, yeah,
And people out here really appreciate your playing out there, especially with everybody. A lot of people that know the Belgium German music, rock and opposition, they know you of Zero. That's a
yeah.
well-known name
In the
out there.
beginning, we were completely unknown, and I must say, it's a little different now. But in Belgium, it's like unknown band. It in the
Is it?
be
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
we were very famous, for example, for Japanese, but nobody knew us in Belgium.
Well, the Japanese, they are musos. They know everything about everything. They could
Yeah.
tell you the catalog number and the
Oh, yeah.
what
Exactly.
song number eight is so and so. They know their music there.
Yeah. When we made the record Crawling Wind, it was produced by a Japanese label, and the guy came to Belgium to talk with us. And at some point, we were talking, and he was asking about who was playing with us before, etc. And so he gives names, and we said, "Oh, that guy we don't know at all." And he said, "Yeah, I know, he's there."
Oh, it's amazing. We played over there. We went over there for a week, and these young kids come in with our EPs that are way out of print. Oh, I know this song. I know that. It's like,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
they
yeah.
really know their music.
I
Now,
had I
now
had
with
the
it,
chance to play with the band Acid Mother's Temple. I
oh,
made a
those guys. Okay.
European tour with them. I met some people from the Zenigeva also. One of them is playing on the one of the albums of Eclectic Maybe Band, and now on the last one we have the drummer from Ruins,
Oh, okay.
and also a girl who is making a poem in Japanese. Very interesting.
Now, were you able to play with Gong at all with David Allen? Did you do any shows
I
with
played
them?
with David Allen, not with Gong. I
Oh, you
played,
played with David Allen?
yeah, with the guitarist from Acid Mother's Temple and the drummer from Guru Guru.
Oh, wow. That must
It
have been
was a
some sound.
special. It was completely improvised, completely.
Now, did you record that? Is that recorded or
It's
just?
been recorded and filmed.
Oh, I got to check that out.
Yeah,
Is that on YouTube? You could find it on
you can find it on YouTube. Yeah,
or some other place. Just David Allen ties in to so many interviews I've done on here. It's just amazing.
yeah,
The tie in with all the people that he worked with.
yeah. But I saw many times Gong as well,
Oh,
and
you did?
yeah, live many times
Did you
also.
see the classic lineup, the 73 with the
Yeah.
Angel's Egg era?
I saw the best concerts for me of Gong was a special concert in Amsterdam on a
Oh,
special place in Amsterdam, very known, and they had a super big band of gong for Christmas Day.
oh, wow.
That was quite a souvenir.
I wonder if Steve Hillett was Steve Hiller's playing.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
he's
first time I
great.
saw him. Yeah,
He's quite a guitar player. That and Pierre Morlan was one of my favorite drummers
that
of
was
all
much
time.
later, huh? Much
Oh,
later.
what a drummer. He was such a key player in that whole era too in that band.
But the first one I met and still our friend is Didier Malherbe, the saxophone player.
Oh, he's amazing. He
Yeah,
is phenomenal.
he's
I
a very
mean,
nice person also. Yeah,
I'm sure he is, but he looked like it, but he just so makes it look so easy. I just interviewed David Jackson from
yeah,
Von
yeah,
der Graaf, another great guy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
what a talent too, and the way he plays the two saxes.
yeah.
So, well, gee, I can't think of anything else now. Are these records? Do you have these on CD or vinyl or just digital?
CD,
Oh,
and
you
you can
do?
find it
Okay,
on the Discus Music label, the English label.
okay.
I guess you will put the link.
Yes. Well, send me over the links you want me to put in the description, title description, and I'll put that in so everybody out there can find your music.
Yeah, it's the music on that label is fantastic because it started like a improvised jazz label, but
Okay.
it's open to many things. So what I do is like a mix with very structured music and improvise,
Yeah.
and even the owner of the label is playing on it also.
Now, that they have limited runs, like 100 copies, or is this how do they?
No, 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 no. I produced the album, and when it's how you say, when it's no copy available anymore, I repress it.
Oh, okay.
I pay for it, and yeah,
Well,
I put my money in.
yeah.
No,
Well, why
I,
not?
I know I never been a a star in the music, and I'll never be. So I do the things I like, and
Yeah, why not? Well, thing is too about a physical copy, people can, as opposed to digital, people can actually,
yeah, yeah,
play it. It's in physical form. I think it
yeah.
makes a difference. Well, and that's why a lot of bands now, even though they're on digital, they produced a CD or vinyl to sell at the shows.
Vinyl
Yeah.
is very difficult. It's very strange because nowadays it costs a lot, and to send it, for example, if
Oh
I send
yeah. Oh,
you a vinyl, it's very expensive.
the prices now to send anything overseas here in the US is astronomical.
Yeah, yeah, and it's nonsense. It's
It
nonsense.
is, it really is. So what do you think the future of music looks like with all this AI and auto tuning and all this stuff going on?
Well, I think I'm safe on that level because I think all those who want to make money out of the music will use AI that way.
Right, of
My
course.
music will never make money, so they don't use it. And
No, that's
they
true.
can't copy it, or they are really crazy.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff out, so much music out there. It's
Yeah, well,
mind-boggling, but
if you
and it,
find a system of one music, you can copy it. That's what most of the people do, in fact,
yep,
already when they play, but they have to at least learn to play and make an effort. And that will be different.
right.
And
Well,
slowly
you
things
know,
like
you,
that.
you were part of like a golden age of that period, from once Sergeant Pepper up until like the late 70s. There was so much great music happening
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah. Even I started even before Sergeant
Yeah.
Pepper. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
I bought the album when it came out. But yeah, that's a big difference,
Yep.
and you can feel it in the way a musician play. And
Exactly. You're right. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there's always going to be
but
bands.
I thought with some people when I was running the record company,
Right.
what would happen in the further development of music. And we were speaking about, um, um, you know,
What
images. I don't know.
videos of this
No, no, no,
music?
no. In 3D and
Okay,
oh, you
3D music,
holograms,
3D. Okay,
hologram,
right. Okay,
hologram.
that's it.
And we were talking like we will have music now with different speakers in the room, and in each speaker you have connected to one musician of the band, and at the same time you can have the hologram of the musician.
Oh, they're doing that already. They've done it with live concerts where they have
Yeah, but I mean,
somebody dead, and they're playing the music, and there's a hologram. I think they
yeah,
did
yeah,
it with Buddy Holly, I think.
yeah, yeah, but
Here.
it's many years ago we talked about that, but we talked about it like having it at home,
Right,
like,
right. What do you know about this Atmos uh uh record? When they take this, they're taking now these remasters and instead of stereo, it's called Atmos, ATMOS. Supposedly it's a kind of surround sound type of
I don't know
deal.
it.
Yeah, I thought maybe you knew something about it, but they've been remastering Steven Wilson. Do you know that name? He's been doing a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
remastering for quote unquote prog rock groups, like King
But I heard
Crimson.
about a program that could, for example, you send some music and could analyze only the part of one instrument, and then could extract it.
Yeah,
And
isn't that something? That is amazing
yeah,
how
yeah,
they do
that
that.
would be fantastic for some records.
Oh, it would,
It would.
but it would really, but
Depends what you do with it after, but I mean,
that's true. But
yeah,
music's for a period anyway. Even if you mixed it years later, you say, "Oh, well, that was good anyway." But when you're in the moment of doing a record, it's always tense because you're trying to get the best mix, the record,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then in the future, you say, "Well, this wasn't so bad after all. Maybe there was a couple things that you didn't like, but sometimes, usually, like I've had
yeah.
that."
Well, with Univers Zero, we went into so much details that uh, I remember one record called So du Dehors that is so precise
Yeah,
that
yeah.
even we did make Robert Fripp listen to it, and he
Oh, he
was
did. Oh,
astonished by the precision.
well, it's like a math equation there, like a calculus
Yeah, yeah, but
equation. You guys
we
were
were at
precise.
least like that, and so if there was one mistake, I remember it took so many time to get it precise, and now I think completely the opposite. I say because by knowledge I know that you make a mistake in the studio, and 2 months later you don't remember where it was anymore.
No, but if it's somewhat in tune, you're not going to even think about it because, it's just going to go fly by your head unless it's really out of tune and something's
Yeah, yeah,
really,
of course, but
you
I
hear
mean,
it, but otherwise it's all good with that.
I'm
So
talking about a 24th of a time.
now, where did you guys record that you could spend so much time on this? Was that somebody's house or
It's not so much time, huh?
no?
No, we made it in 1 week or
So
yeah.
you practiced before you were
We
really
played
well
it on
rehearsed.
stage before long many times.
Okay.
At least the three, four first records, no, even more. We played it so many times before on stage.
See, that's it. And I think too, if you're going to do a record like that, you got to go in the studio right when that tour is over, or you're after
Yeah,
playing,
but
you're ready, right? Is that what you did?
nowadays things are completely different, and that's why I changed the method because
Okay.
it's no more possible. We were young, we had time,
Yeah.
we didn't have
Right.
jobs, so we could rehearse every day, every day. We rehearsed with the band every day, every day.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I could hear it. with your music there, I could hear it. It was
I
just
can't do that anymore. But now for structured music, what I do is I write it down and I send the score or the part to a musician that I know he can play it.
right.
He's so
And
good that he can do it.
now, do you write music out for these players, or is it just the music you send? Do you have
No,
to
no,
score too?
I have the scores too, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, that's great. You could read music.
Even the
That's a
drums,
big
I
plus.
write it so and the other part is that I take 1 day studio with some friends, musicians
Right.
from here that could go easily to the studio. We improvise totally, and then I remix it, and that's it.
Yeah, it's so easy these days at home to really do the
Some
remixes.
improvisations are done on the written parts, but then everything is written, and I say to that person from here to there, you can improvise.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't read any music, so I would have to be, if I
Yeah,
did any of your music, you just have to send me the music and I'd have to hear it and
yeah.
play what I feel. That's all you could
Well,
do.
some people are like you, and they can play very precise
Right.
but also I learned music just by meeting other musicians and never went to
Exactly.
school.
That's a big deal too. You're right.
And I even could read things like complex things. I recorded once for
Right.
Tim Hodgkinson
Right.
from Enrico. I recorded the bass line from a Enrico tune, which was very complex.
Oh, I'm
It
sure.
was written, so I could do it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Well, Guy, this has been fantastic. Thank you for doing this. And send me those what you want me to put up as far as the descriptions so they can find your music somewhere
Yeah.
and on your site. And
On the side of the record company.
right. Yeah,
That's a,
send me the links and we'll put it up.
yeah, yeah.
All
I
right.
hope, I
I got
hope,
this. What's that?
uh, I hope I was expecting you did already listen to all the albums, but
Not all of them, but a lot of them, they were very good.
from Eclectic Maybe Band,
Yep. Very good stuff. Yep.
so you know the label.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
it was really good. Yeah, I try to do a lot of research before I speak to anybody
Uh,
about the
uh,
records.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll probably put this up in a few days,
Yeah,
and we'll get it up there with everybody else that's been doing this great series.
yeah,
So, once again, thanks for doing this, and have a good night there in Belgium.
yeah. It's
Take
already
care.
done.